Hi and welcome back to Learn Python by Doing number 16. So we're still going to learn about decorators, built-in decorators that Python has to offer to you. And today we're going to talk about the class method decorator. So first we have to define what is a class method. So a class method is a method that is bound to a class rather than its object. Okay, so we can call this class method without even creating an object. So that's cool. And it doesn't, well, as I told you, it doesn't require the creation of a class instance. And class method works with the class since its parameter is always the class itself. Okay, so the first argument has to be the class where it's attached. So if we define it like def class method, the first argument has to be the class. Just as we define methods, ordinary methods, in a class, the first argument is self, referring to the instance of that class. Self refers to the instance of that class. Now, this CLS refers to the class itself. So let's see this with an example. But first, I have to tell you that they are used generally for creating factory methods. And what are factory methods? Well, they are methods which returns a class object. So they are very, very common. So that's why this is a very important concept here. Okay, so let's create a class like we did in last time. We created this person. We created the constructor. So this is getting the self age, and we're saying self.age is equal to age. So we're not going to use properties and complicate our lives here. We're just going to make like the first version of our person. And well, let's define also a display age method here, and it's going to simply print an f string, and here we're going to say the age of the person is and self.age. Okay, so nothing fancy with this class. We can pass the age and call the display age method. Okay, so nothing fancy, as I said. But suppose we want to create an instance of this class, but instead of using the age, we're going to use the birth year. So that's where class methods come in handy. So we're going to define this person from birth year. And as I told you, the first argument needs to be the class itself. So this CLS is referring to this person class. And the second argument is going to be the birth year. Okay, so we have to wrap this with this class method decorator, and also we have to import the date from the datetime library. So sorry, from datetime import date. And okay, so we're going to return the class. But remember, here we have to pass the age, not the birth year. So first, let's calculate the age. So we're going to create this variable called calculated age, which is going to be, we can get the year from today, and we can subtract the birth year. Obviously, we have to take into consideration the month and the day maybe, but we're going to make it simple and do it like this. Okay, and then we pass the calculated age, and that's all. So now we can call this class method without even creating an instance of the class. So how do we do that? Well, we say person dot person from birth year, and we pass the birth year, which is in this case 1998. And obviously this will return an instance of the class. So we have to assign this to person1, which will be an object of the person class. So let's see, person1, we can well see the age, which is in this case 22, and we can call this method display age, and it's saying that the age of the person is 22. So we have called this class method without creating an object. So we can call it without creating an object and assign it to this person1 variable, which will be an instance of the person class, because this is returning a class itself. Well, an instance of the class, actually. Okay, so this is a very important application. Factory methods are extremely used. At least I have seen them in machine learning used a lot. And something more technically is that you can, for example, I don't know, inherit from person. So let's create this, I don't know, employee class, and it's going to inherit from person. Okay. And okay, so when we inherit from this class, we are also inheriting the methods, in this case, person from birth year. And this class is not going to do anything, so just pass. And okay, so let's see what happens. Let's create this variable employee, and we're going to call this person from birth year. And let's say this thing here, and of course we can display the age and things like that. Sorry, display age. So the age of the person is 30. Okay, but more importantly is that we can see the instance of employee. So let's see if employee is an instance of the class employee. So this is true. Yeah, so if you didn't understand this last part, so don't worry, because this is instance, I have to dedicate a video just talking about this is instance, but it's this class method, it's guaranteeing that this employee is going to be of the type, or will be an instance of the class employee. So that's all. This is a more technical thing here. Also, we can see the type of employee, and it's going to be an object of employee. Okay, so don't worry if you didn't understand this part. If you understand that we can create instances of the class where this class method is attached, then that's nice. And well, I hope you liked this video, and see you in the next one, where we will still talk about decorators.